Mic check. 1 2 1 2. We are live. Come on. I need everybody to the skating rink. Everybody, this is couple skating. This is couple skating, y'all. Come on. Everybody to the floor. Everybody to the flow. Come on. Everybody to the flow. Mic check. The levels are good. Uh-oh.
Oh.
We are back on the OG system.
I see. Can I be heard? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. So I rearranged the original
I don't like it.
And this one here is because they updated the software. This system here allows 12 guests as opposed to it originally only allowed me to have 5, and that's why we had to use Zoom. And then I jumped off of Zoom and went over to Restream. So I rearranged some stuff over here, and I'm gonna test that out. But we need everybody to be here for it to work.
How is there a way to change my name, or do I have to go out and come back in?
No, you can change it. Just double click the cogwheel. It should be in the settings.
Nope.
Everybody can set. You guys set your names. How did they even know Dr. Champ? How did they even know you was Dr. Champ?
Yeah, that was from last week when I was on the.
What you want me to? I can change it right now. What you want me to call yourself?
Just
your Instagram.
The real IG? Yeah, just IG.
What is it?
Yeah, I can't click on anything on here. It looks so small. The real _ Chris Davis.
Real.
Like that?
Brazil.
Yeah, the letter looks so small, but congratulations, Wes. You finally made it on time. Your audio sounds good.
Wes has been pulling up on time a lot lately, though.
He wasn't here last week. He wasn't able to be in his usual Captain Saber.
Last week I was here actually, and the room didn't start till almost 8 o'clock.
If you weren't present, you weren't here, sir. Stop making excuses.
I was here before everybody. I was here before Shan.
Oh,
I doubt that.
I'm not sure that's
Last week, no,
possible.
yeah. I was in.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Shan, I want to say I was in there and you was watching something, and I was just sitting in the backstage, and you were watching something. You were 8 minutes. You were watching something, literally.
Oh, probably.
You was like, yeah, and there was something playing in the back. I was in there for like 20 minutes.
Sounds accurate. What up, y'all?
Oh man, it's good to be here tonight to see you gentlemen. I just watched the latest installment of Wife School. It's pretty good. Enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
I actually agreed with something you said, so that was a hallmark.
Wes, we don't need kudo points for you saying that you agree with him. You're not getting no brownie points. What?
Hey man.
What did I say, Wes? What did I say that you agree with? I got to hear this.
I can't remember. I put 100. I put 300s in the chat. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, you would forget it. Clearly, it wasn't that damn important.
Conveniently.
It wasn't that damn important. Yeah, Wife School is cool, man.
Good conversation.
And I got new hostesses. Hosts, you can say it either way. Starting next week. So next week we're gonna have some new people in there, and then husband school starts Tuesday. I've been saying that every week though. You know the problem with husband school is the reason why I haven't started it, because today was the fourth wife school, and husband school and wife school was supposed to start the same week. Now I have 3 people already for husband school, but I need 7 total, right? The reason why I haven't fired up husband school is not because I can't find single men to help, is I cannot find married men. I cannot find married men who's willing to come onto a show for 1 hour and give game. It's almost like they don't want to say something that they wives will hear later.
Right.
They don't want to come live and say some shit and then have fucking problems in the bedroom at home. Because that's what is gonna happen.
Then they got to come to husband school. They can no longer teach it. Now they have to become a student.
Yeah, they need to be students.
Man, I can still teach you how to be a husband.
No. I got the people that I got. Well, I don't have everybody because I'm trying to figure out. I got the people who aren't married. Like there's a list of motherfuckers. Chris, you're on the list. There's a list of people that I have that I'm trying to figure out who can make it on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. to do 8 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays that can do it. But that list is a list of a bunch of divorced and single motherfuckers, which in my personal opinion, divorced men give the best advice, especially if they're giving that's one of the biggest arguments. Oh, how you failed marriage, motherfucker. Who you gonna listen to? A motherfucker that just now starting a business that hasn't done nothing, or somebody else that tried 100 businesses and failed at 80 of them, and then fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But I got those guys. I need somebody that's in the trenches, currently married, that wants to give game to the young fellas, and I can't. It's tough to find a motherfucker. It was tough to find it for wife schools too. I got Cheryl. On my wife's school show, I got Cheryl and Aisha. Cheryl's 13 years in the game. Aisha is 3 years in the game. So it's a perfect setup, and I could hear it when they saying something because they thinking of their current situations. When they thinking of like, God damn, I got to go lay with this motherfucker in about an hour. What am I saying? But I could see them learning as they go, which is a good thing as well. Because, if I'm giving them game, I mean, if they're giving game, they're giving it from look, I'm playing this game right now. And damn, I know what I need to say. I probably should practice what I preach. So that's good. It was tough for me to find the women, but I got some really good women on the panel. Right. But finding a married man that wants to come up and cam up and give some game, oh man, that's tough.
Yeah, I already know.
Even us, it's 8 of us over here asking black men anything, and none of us are married. We've been married, but none of us are currently married.
No, the guy from last week.
Who,
My
Steve?
buddy from last week, he's married,
Oh, yeah, your boy.
but he ain't but 3 months freshly married again,
Yeah,
remarried,
yeah, he remarried, fresh. 40. He's 44 years old. His wife is 27.
29.
That would that's yeah, him exactly. And it looks, that's another thing. So what I'm discovering is that I either got men that are scared to come up because
Oh
they're
no, he'll do
fucking
it.
they're
He'll do it if he not
betatized,
ain't got to
they're
work.
cucked, they don't want to rock no boats at home. They don't want to have no problems with their wives right now. I can't come on your show, man. You know what, man? My wife might tune in and I say some shit. I It's like, god damn. Or a motherfucker that is a straight up G in his marriage, and his wife is almost damn near like, you know what? She know what time it is. But motherfuckers like that is hard to find too. It's hard to find them dudes too. So it's real tough. I got like my boy, kosher clinician, but he's spotty. My man, Sir Hale, he already is on wife school. He'd be great for husband school, but I don't want to commit him twice. So it's really tough for me to find somebody, a brother that's married, that want to give up some game. But we'll see. I got a few people I'm gonna
Does
contact
being
this
married
week.
to the game count? No.
Nah, that don't count. Well, it do count. But I got niggas like that. I got
Wes, you wouldn't count in that category, sir.
shit.
Listen.
Man, I got this. I got this picture of Wes on from and I'm like, Wes, really?
Hey man.
Wes doing Wes married to the game?
Where's Robert? Where's Shahid? Where's Jerron?
Man,
We got somebody in the back ready to come up.
pull them up. Welcome everybody to Ask a Black Man Anything. Thank you all for joining. I forgot what else. Oh, make sure you like the show. Show me that you love me. Ooh, slammed him. Pull up.
Well, hold on. I don't even have a setup for just 3 people. I set it for 4 minimum. Actually, that's not true. I got it set up, but it'll only be 3 of us answering the question. Hold on. Let me take a preview. Let me take a look at something real quick. Let me see. Yes, it's actually ready. It'll actually work.
I can't see chat. I can't see big screen.
It's your OG. You back to the original. You get used to it. Don't worry about it.
Nah, I don't remember this one.
You do have
At
chat.
all.
What do you mean you can't see chat?
I don't. I'm saying I know it's to the right, but I'm glad it's closed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't keep it open. Don't keep it open. I don't want to see it. Who's in the back?
Hold on. Aisha's in the back.
I
Let's
like
go ahead
her.
and bring it up. Let's get started. We might as well just get started. We can answer her questions.
I like Aisha.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey,
How y'all
you
doing?
missed us?
I'm Aisha.
Hey, Aisha.
You missed us?
I miss y'all. Y'all just saying, nah, I just seen
Oh,
Shannon.
collectively.
I miss you though, because you didn't join us this week. You joined us last week. You had some good commentary.
Yeah,
You be thinking. I like that. Yeah,
I-
last week was good.
on Tuesday, on Thursdays, I forget to tune in to the wife school, and in my mind I'm like, oh, I'm gonna jump on, but then in my heart I'm like, I need to take a moment for myself to get ready for this show, to kind of make sure I have the right kind of energy and the right kind of make sure my children are straight, that whole deal. So single dad life.
Respect. I'm all about it. I support single dads. I support dads that are present. Shannon, you present. I don't really know you, Brother Wes. I don't know Brother Shahid, but I respect all men who are present for their children. I had a present dad, so I'm a daddy's
So
girl, so all men,
I love it.
yeah.
So welcome to Ask a Black Man Anything.
Okay.
Is that bling I see on your hand?
It's bling. Yeah, I'm married. I'm 3 years in the game.
Okay,
3 years.
I love it.
I'm not married to the game. I heard somebody say that. Who said that? Brother West. He married to the game. I'm married. Married. I'm married to a man.
I love
I
it.
know
Well,
All
welcome
right.
to
she's
Ask a
not
Black Man
calling me.
Anything.
Thank you. Thank
Welcome to
you.
our show. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Friday, Junior.
Yes. Happy Friday, Junior, y'all.
I gotta just real quick before we jump to you. You said Aisha.
Yes, it's Aisha.
So before we jump to her question or commentary, somebody said to me, Shannon West, that we don't answer questions. We just flip the questions back around on the women.
Wow. Okay.
The lady was
There
like,
might be some truth to that.
here's an example. Why are black men intimidated by women? And I was like, we're not. Well, we're not making it up. And I'm like, that's a valid point. So, I had to actually answer a question. I had to let her know that most men that are insecure are probably not going to be, proud of your success. Anyways, I just wanted to throw that
You know why we flip stuff? Is because
because they don't
when the
take
questions come
accountability.
in blanket, when they come in as all, okay. So I had a dream. Ironically, I dreamt about this last night. So I was dreaming about something else, but this was in it.
Deja vu.
All, not some. I mean, I'm sorry, some, not all.
Tell us about the something else. I want to know about
Some,
the
not
other.
all. So
Mind your business,
the whole
lady.
theory of some, not all. The theory of some, not all is when people like me give pushback to somebody who's given a blanket statement, knowing that they're not talking about all, is when they say that and they want me to use the sensical intelligence to not assume that it's all, but I know that they're speaking to a minority. So if they say something like, for instance, black men, how come black men don't like black women? Right? I'm gonna say that's bullshit. Not all. And somebody would say, "Oh, you know what? Why we know that's not some. I mean, we know it's not all. We just talking about some. Yeah, but it's not even the majority." So whenever you say why black men don't like black women, and I know the majority of black men like black women, want to marry black women, want to love black women, marry black women 82%, versus what is it, 18%. When somebody says why black men don't like black women, I give pushback to the not all, because you're talking about a 18%.
Small
You're talking
percentage.
about you're talking about fucking 1.5 out of 10 men that don't marry black women or don't like black women. So that's bullshit. Now, if somebody was to say, how come, black men don't make a lot of money? I'm not gonna give no pushback to that, because by and large, most black men don't make a lot of money. Even though there's some black men that do. I'm not gonna say, no, hold on. That's not all. There's some rich black men out there. I know we know there's some rich black men out there. We know there's lots of black men that make plenty of money. But generally speaking, on the larger scale of things here in America, the average black man makes $40,000. That's not a lot of money. So why would I argue that? So the some, not all argument for me personally is when somebody makes a blanket statement, but they're talking about a minority of that populace. If you make a blanket statement and it's the majority of the populace, you won't hear nothing from me. If you make a blanket statement and it's the minority of the populace, I'm gonna argue with that. So the thing about women, though, see, that's me and that's men generally. Women will argue the some, not all, when we talking about most black women on a particular thing. It'd be a fucking large ass percent, a huge fucking, number of black women, and then motherfuckers would be like, not all. I'd be like, God damn, we know not the 3 motherfuckers that out of the other 100. But you don't have to argue the exception. The exception actually proves the rule. But that's just how I feel. So I
So,
literally dreamt about that last night. So I'm
Hey,
glad
let me
you
think
guys gave
hard
me a great
before I ask
segue to
my
bring it up.
question.
well, I'm gonna give you. No, you don't have to think that hard. But I'm gonna give you something else. I wish Shan, you would have been able to chime in on my Facebook post. I made a post and it said, "It's not that black men don't like women." Matter of fact, I'm gonna just read it because this post went crazy. I was supposed to mod the post, and I just got busy, and I mean, I do life, right? I said it's not that men don't like women. It's more like we don't like the wrong things, and we speak on them. Only the flawless are offended by suggestions of correction.
Mm.
Meaning, if you think you're flawless, right? And you know, if you go and you ask a woman, well, let me ask you, Aisha, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate yourself?
What? I'm gonna rate myself a 10 every day. What you mean?
Okay, great.
15. What?
So great. So 10 means you're perfect, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
here we go.
So if you're perfect, you have no flaws, right?
I'm perfect in my sight.
No, that's not what I asked you. Not
Said how would I rate myself?
right. But if you're
Yeah,
perfect,
you did.
you have no flaws, right?
No.
Well, let me not say you. Let me not say
God is
you.
perfect. So I got a few
If
flaws.
if someone uses the thing perfect, there are no flaws in perfect, right?
Correct.
All right. So, would you agree that if there are no flaws in it, that only people that hate being corrected when they're actually flawless are offended?
I wouldn't agree with that. I feel
So
like
you
some people
saying
get
if
offended
something
based
is
on their
perfect,
experience with others. You know, it's like, dang, I'm
if
offended
something
for my
is
homegirl.
perfect and it can't get any better, right?
Yeah, but nothing is perfect. But I'm still a 10 on 10 scale. Final answer. How
So
I rate myself
so
in the perfection, I didn't put those in the
Final
same
answer.
category. You know,
right, but 10 is perfect, right?
Can't
you
get no
know,
better.
what's perfection?
There's no room for
Perfection is
improvement
subjective,
if you
though,
a
right?
10.
On 1
Okay,
to
I'm a
10, the
9.5.
scale ends
I'm
at
a
10.
9.5 if that's the rule, okay? I got room for improvement.
Oh,
That's the
so
point
now
behind
you're
it.
gonna move the goalposts.
I'm
That's
just saying if we're
hilarious.
clarifying the rules of rating
That
ourselves,
ain't
I'm
no
gonna give y'all,
clarifying.
a 9.5.
Yep, no. See,
You
that's
feel me?
ladies
Aisha,
and gentlemen, I
Aisha.
present to you women. He didn't. We don't need to
Listen,
clarify that there's nothing higher than a 10 if the scale is 1 to 10.
No, I'm
10 is
saying
the
if we're
end of the
talking
scale.
about
End of the
perfection, if you
scale.
start adding in the word perfection, I'm like, okay, so we on a perfection scale. You know, I'm gonna give me a 9.5 because everybody has room for improvement. You know, I'm a work in progress every day.
I love it.
You
I
know,
love it. And so
but
so
I'm still up there.
here's my philosophy, right? Only people who are flawless are offended when somebody tries to correct you. Because see, if you're flawless and you think there's nothing wrong with you, when someone says, "Hey, you know what? Your attitude could be better." Oh my God, ain't nothing wrong with my attitude. That's what happens.
I do agree with that. Yeah, that is what happens.
Only those who are flawless think, you know what? I don't need correction. That's how that works. That's the reason why that philosophy of particularly black men don't like women is flawed because if you are perfect, then nobody can tell you anything. You see that? Right?
Yeah,
No
I
one
think it
can
was
say
Matthew
anything to
McConaughey.
you if you're perfect. But
yeah.
if there's something that can be corrected, then most people would be open to it if they know that they have room for improvement. Does that make
Right.
sense?
It does make sense. It does make sense. I
And
got
that's the
something
reason
else for
why if
you.
that's the reason why men the like and so like the saying is black men don't like women, you actually like men. You hate everything about us. No, baby, it's not that we hate everything about you all. It's that you think you're perfect and there's no room for improvement. And so when we make something that's a suggestion to correct or to change or to grow in, it's like, ugh, I don't need no help. Like, God, dog, really?
I think,
So
some
that's
people go at it alone for so long, they feel like their way is the best way. And until you're presented with something different by somebody who has to see you and be with you day in and day out, you really don't see
mm,
those things about yourself because no one else has presented it as an area or of improvement for you. So
so
sometimes,
you don't.
just taking feedback can be difficult, but I feel like taking feedback can be difficult for anybody.
What does that
So
say? If you feel offended, what?
after
Oh
someone
yeah,
corrects you, you have an ego
absolutely,
problem. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
absolutely,
that. I feel like it's
wholeheartedly.
Right,
natural
but
to feel offended.
that all depends on whether or not their correction is correct. I mean, I think we
Yes,
have to take that with a grain of salt.
yes.
Leave it to the motherfucking Obi-Wan to come in and
Indeed.
So that's crazy. You know what? I'm not even gonna touch that. What's up, Shaheed? What up, Jerron?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
good.
What's going on, y'all?
Hello, everybody.
We having a party now, y'all. We having a party.
Yeah. So Aisha, tell me your thoughts. And you believe um, that you're a 9.5 and you have room for growth.
Yes.
Only
Mhm.
0.5 room though. She only has half a point.
Listen. It's a subjective scale. It depends on, we got a whole life ahead of us. I don't know what kind of
I'm
growth
with
I
you,
got
baby.
ahead of me. So I'm going with the
100.
0.5 now. And, in 5 years, we might have, maybe 0.75 or something. I don't know. But we're going with the right now. We don't know what's ahead.
I
9.5,
love
that's
it.
high. That's really high.
Yeah. I mean, you talking about rating myself. What I look like rating myself, throwing myself down on a scale. I
Realistic.
love
You can be
me.
honest with
What you
yourself
look
too,
like?
My
though.
A
shirt
human?
said.
You look like a
You be
human
more,
being.
you would be more
I love
attractive though.
myself. I love myself too much to be like, oh well, I'm a 5. Nah, get
Yeah,
that out of here.
I got
What?
no
Hold
problem
on,
with the
let me
I got
respond to
no
that.
problem with the woman
I'm a 5.
thinking the highest of herself. I have no problem with
We
that.
know you
Like,
do, Captain. What were you saying, Shaheed?
I said for one, you would be more attractive, like because we're attracted to reality, but what you would look like is someone like that. To me, is the opposite of self love when you aren't realistic with yourself. Like, and I'm not even speaking to you, to anyone that can't look themselves in the mirror and understand where they need to improve and where they need to learn and grow. That's the complete opposite of self love. If I'm as a man say, oh, I'm a 9.5 or 9.8, I only have zero point 0.2, you know, points to improve on. That's just me being out of touch with myself. That's a lack of self awareness, and it's just I don't live in the reality, and I'm doing a disservice to myself. Anytime you do a disservice to yourself, you don't love yourself.
I can respect that
As
opinion.
men, men and women
That
are.
opinion.
And that's the thing that we're
It's no
very
such thing. I'm
logical.
talking to you off right now,
Well,
Wes. This is a human being thing. This is not a man and woman thing. This is a human being thing.
but you're
I can
saying that, but
respect
as
that
human
though, but I
beings,
also
we
feel like
are
this is not the
different human
forum for me
beings.
to talk about. Yeah, me to talk about,
Yeah,
here are all of my flaws and this and that. He asked me, what do I rate myself? I'm gonna rate myself high. Getting into my flaws
but
and what areas of growth I need to have I'm like,
No, but see, the
Right.
thing is, so we don't want you to deep dive and explain it and come here to tell us all your issues. That's never the question. But
right.
what happens is when women, particularly, and see, Shahid is speaking on a human thing. I'm separated with gender the way Wes is because we're dynamically different. But here's the thing: for women, oftentimes you guys are told to believe that you're a 10. You're conditioned from childhood, from a little girl, that you're perfect and that you can have it all, and that there's
It's
no
the
room
little
for
things.
improvement, and that there's nothing better than you. And then
well, I didn't
then you
learn that,
grow
but
up,
okay.
and then your ass is hit with reality right across your face.
Yeah,
And it's like, what?
yeah,
My daddy said that I'm perfect. And your boss says, you're not. You're fired. Your boyfriend says you're not. It's over.
It's
You know what
over.
I'm saying? That motherfucker on the highway says, this ain't your lane. It's mine. Move over. You learn all this. You start
yeah,
getting hit with all this reality and start saying, wait a minute, I thought the whole world revolved around me and I was the nucleus, and it's not how that works. And so
yeah.
women, particularly, are told that you're tens. Whereas men from childhood says you better you right now you a 1, and until you become a 5, you can't even talk to me. And then when you become a 5, you might be able to sit at the table with us other men. And then when you sit down, shut up and listen. And then you might become a 6. And after you start making a certain amount of money, and after you start doing a certain amount, learning a certain amount of skills, and you start producing certain amount of things that contribute to life and help move this this human race forward, then you can potentially consider yourself a 6.5, which is just a 1.5 above average. And so we're taught to be able to say, oh, I understand that I can't have it all. I'm taught to realize that my teeth are crooked and I'm balding and I got blackheads on my face. You know what I'm saying? And I got a gut and I'm not as strong as I'd like to be. And we're taught to reality. And so when somebody says, rate yourself, son, 1 to 10, we start thinking to ourselves, well, damn, my hair is not as long as it could be. My breath stinks in the morning. You know what I'm saying? I wear a size 38 pants and shit. And you start thinking all these things. You start knocking yourself down because you're keeping it yourself. I'm not as smart as I'd like to be. I was only a C student. I was only, we start doing all this and we say, okay, I think I'm like a 6. I think I'm a little above average than the average motherfucker because I know how these average niggas move. But I ain't up here where I'd like to be. That's a man. But when women are asked, well into their 40s, 50s, rate yourself 1 to 10. Oh, I'm a 10, baby. I'm a 10. And so there's no room for improvement. Well, I mean, there might be a little something that I can do. It's like, are you so fucking serious?
I got room for improvement. I feel like I feel you. I agree with that. My answer's not going to change.
That's exactly
what I was about to say. She was going to say, even after you said all of that, she was not going to be like,
because I respect it, right? Like, I understand it. I see that, sometimes everybody's perfection is subjective. It's your idea of what perfect is.
Perfection is not subjective. It's subjective.
I think that perfection is subjective.
It's not attainable,
people feel
though.
like they have this perfect world. I don't agree with perfection. I don't think anybody can be perfect.
Right. So, Jerron, based on what you just said, this goes back to something that Shan was saying earlier. Like you just mentioned that it's not perfection is not obtainable. So, and to your point earlier, Shan, when you were talking about the thing that gets argued is the actual exception to the rule as opposed to the general rule, that kind of thing. So, with the same logic, though, perfection. When we say, "Hey, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10." Well, it should be understood that there is no perfection. So 10 is probably a 9 or some other number other than an actual 10 when it comes to perfection. That should be understood. No one's, I think, in their right mind is going to claim to be perfect, and everyone is going to know that they have flaws, whether they're external and people can see them or they're internal.
You giving people a lot of grace there, Wes.
But here's the thing. But when you ask, and back to the point that you agree with me when it comes to the gender and the dynamic, the difference in who we are as a gender. Women are going to be more emotional. Men are going to be more logical and literal, generally speaking. And so it stands to reason that when you ask men, we're going to be very practical. I'm a 6.5. I got X, Y, and Z I got to work on to even get to being an 8. And you ask women, you're asking them how they feel about themselves. You're asking them what's translated for them, a very emotional question.
And still, with that emotion, they know better. That's what Shahid is saying. Even with the emotion, I'm not asking you to be logical. I'm asking you to say, even with knowing that you're not a 10, do you still think that you are almost the speed of light? That you 9.99999 and you that close? Why is that hard to ask a human being, knowing that I'm a little overweight, I'm not as smart as I could be, I can't write that well, I don't drive that good, I'm my face, my titties sag a little bit.
Go to Instagram. Go to Instagram.
How many? At least give them that.
It's ego. It's ego. That's all it really is. Like, women's egos have become so much larger in the last 15, 20 years that
I'm finna call bullshit on that right here.
If you shatter their ego by saying something is wrong, they are hurt. That's the issue. You say, "Oh, you know what? I don't like makeup. I don't like all that makeup." And they, "Oh my God, I can't believe you don't like," because they took so long to do all the makeup and they did all these things and they think they're doing it for us. But when one person says, "I don't really like all that," now their ego is shattered. It's shattered.
Yo,
Their world is proverbially blown up. Oh, I'm not a big fan of natural hair. Oh my God, I wear natural, and a lot of men don't like me. Two men done told them they don't like natural hair. The ego is so frail that they
Yeah,
can't
they're
take
not
it.
rooted in reality. Yeah, I can agree with that.
A
so look,
9.5 is not living in reality either.
if we go to Instagram, I'm trying to go now on my phone. It's running slow, but if we go to Instagram
That's normal.
and we
You
talk
have
about
dial up.
ego, and we talk exactly. My AOL is tripping. But if you go to Instagram, I have, and I bookmark a lot of things for various reasons. I keep them in certain collections, and so I'm into fitness and self help and all of those things, and I appreciate a lot of these motivational messages. But to that point though, you go on Instagram and you're going to see post after post after post, and we've all heard them. We may have even used them in our own, where there's some, whether it's Denzel Washington or Joe Rogan, it's just somebody that's making some motivational speech about, as a man, being above all other men, and just these things that speak about self as though he's the highest, he's above everybody else, and we use them and we watch them and we like them and we fist bump to them or whatever the case is. But that is the epitome of two things: ego and claiming something about yourself that you have not yet received. I mean, that you have not yet achieved, which is fine. That's called faith, right? So I hear you, but it's a gang of men who are saying these affirmations about themselves, saying they're alpha males and they're the top male, and I'm gonna be. I got a ton of them in my phone, but that's
You better
men
finish it.
saying that.
Nah,
Young
Wes,
men.
It's,
no.
That's why they ain't got no daddies. That's men that don't got
That's
no
not the
daddies.
greater majority.
Yeah,
So
that's a
we're
few.
not gonna go with that.
no,
But
no,
even
that's all of. What do you mean? That's not. That's. I don't think you guys know what I'm talking about. But
Wes, if
No,
okay,
we
we'll
everybody
look it
was
do.
up.
perfect
We
though,
do.
bro, if
Yeah, we
we
do.
We
done
We
do.
just saying bullshit.
bro,
We do.
you wouldn't have these
There's a
Instagram
difference
bills.
between a man speaking affirmations and saying what he would like to be, and
Versus what
and
he
and
thinks he
how
currently
he
is.
versus he think, yeah, I'm this right now. I got it all together.
Right.
There's a big difference in that. And
That's what I
and,
was going
and
to
I can go ahead, Shahid.
say.
I'm sorry.
That's what I was going to say. It's the difference between a man. Most men, majority of men, try to achieve their best self. Being the best self, being the best you, does not make me. That does has nothing to do with perfection. Me trying to achieve the best version of me. I'm never saying, "Oh, I'm perfect now." This is the difference between the two. It's not the same.
But that would be to suggest that women aren't trying to better themselves.
No,
So
then
just because you ask a woman and how
That
she
is
feels
not the
about herself,
antithesis. That is
Better
not
Wes,
the
yourself don't
because
mean you're
antithesis.
perfect, Wes. You can better yourself and then still not be perfect because there's nobody else that's
we,
Wes
we
perfect
know
is
that,
like
we
you.
know that,
Wes
but
be
no,
having the need to
so
be
no
right.
woman. Wait, listen.
Where
No
is
woman
my
is
cake
claiming.
tonight?
No woman. What woman have you ever met a woman who claims
I have
she's
my cake.
perfect?
It ain't
So no
We
perfect.
one,
didn't
since
I
no,
have my cake.
Wait,
it's
wait,
perfect.
say that again, Wes.
let me not say it like that, because sure, there's
But
some
Candace
women
probably
who
gonna
I was
might
gonna
say
say
yes.
because
claim that
Aisha
they are
said that when
perfect.
she pulled
Woo!
up.
But
We
I
don't
Aisha,
know
but
mean,
what you
Aisha
don't
listen,
see.
you
also,
asked me how
Aisha
I look at
also told you
myself.
her real. She told you the
Yeah.
real. She told you that.
No,
She
after
told you
we
how
deep
she thinks of
dive.
herself, and if you ask her that question in public, she's gonna tell you that she's a
How
10.
I think
She's
of
gonna
myself.
she's gonna proclaim the highest of herself. But she also
Okay, cool.
realizes that she has flaws, and to suggest that because a woman says she's a 10, just because Aisha says she's a 10 out here to proclaim to the world, that means that she does not want to better herself. She doesn't see any places where she can better herself, and she refuses to better herself. That's ridiculous.
So watch
It's
this, Wes.
totally disingenuous.
Amen.
Just watch this, Wes. So Aisha, you said you're a 9.5, right?
Ask her.
I'm
Yes.
asking.
She said it.
She
said
going
she
she
was
going
tired.
down in her mind right now. She
Right.
dropping it down to an 8.
So
No,
within
she's
Don't you
that
do
point,
it.
so within that point five, you have to a 10. Are you the best? Would that make you the best version of yourself if you achieve that point five?
No, I don't feel like how I think of myself and how highly I think of myself. I don't think that is in direct correlation to any goals I'm not yet achieving. Just because I haven't achieved those goals doesn't mean I don't think highly of myself. Just because I have room for improvement doesn't mean I still don't think that I'm a great person and I'm a 10 on the scale. Just because there's area for improvement doesn't mean I think less of myself. I will
but
always think highly of
Yes.
myself. And that doesn't mean that I don't have areas for improvement. I know I
but
got
why
areas
are
for
you
improvement, but
conflating
my
thinking
husband
high
doesn't
of
know it.
yourself with
Well,
Yeah.
if
how
you
you
got
rate
area for
yourself?
improvement, 9.5 is
That's
way
exactly what I was about to ask. If I said that you were a
Y'all
6,
asked
does
me
that
my
mean that
opinion, and
you?
now y'all want me to consider all of y'all opinions. I
Exactly.
No,
got
no,
the
no,
same
no, no, no,
Exactly.
no,
And
opinion.
no, no. Just asking questions.
It just don't make
but
sense.
listen,
That's
but here's
okay.
the thing. This is the problem too for men, and it's us. And I listen. I've been there too. I'm not claiming that I haven't felt those same things. I know what you guys are saying, but there is another place to evolve to consider and nuances to think about. So what we are doing right here is trying to, because men, listen, we know how we grow up. Shan talked about it. We've all talked about it. You all have talked about it, even in this conversation at some point. We grew up being told versus women being told that they're princesses and the whole nine, and being elevated from being a child without having to accomplish anything or do anything. It's the opposite for us, and somehow we've found a way to matter of fact, that probably was the thing to make us struggle and strive and attain different levels in the ways that we have as men in our individual lives. Now is because of our own, I'm gonna call it trauma, right? And I'm only gonna say trauma from a standpoint of that it's something that's ingrained in us when we were kids, and even as men, when we were kids, we were told not to cry, not to be emotional. We gotta suck it up and all of that stuff, which translates into how we go out into the world, and translates into how we perceive ourselves in the world as well, and how we might not think. Here it is. Perhaps consider that we don't think highly enough of ourselves as men, particularly black men. Now, I know ego is going to jump up and we're going to say, "Oh, I think I'm whatever," and it's not that. But just know that we have been programmed, just like women have been programmed. We've also been programmed in the exact opposite. So perhaps there's a middle ground, but I'm not going to prescribe for a woman that which has been prescribed for me. I'm not going to, because I'm sick, I'm not going to then and therefore make everybody else in the house have to be sick too.
See, and that's exactly why I said it's a human thing. Because if you do, reality is genderless. You don't have to be a man or a woman to live in reality. You just have to be a realist,
You just
a
got to be a
realistic.
human.
Yeah, like that's what I'm like. You trying to make it like there's two different. No, just live in reality, and everything will balance itself out.
But we're
Reality
not
is
trying to kill her,
perception.
kill her self
Perception is
esteem. Like if
reality.
she thinks she's 9.5, that's great. Nobody's trying to tear her self esteem down and make her feel any worse. But it's also being realistic and honest with yourself too. Like you got to take a look at all the different areas and elements of your life. And if you look back, you pull back the layers, look at all those different things. There's nobody that's a 9.5. Like we said, there's nobody that's a 10 because there's so many different areas of your life that needs work. And I mean, you can go and talk to, and I know we don't want to take the opinions of other people, but even people we work with, our friends, our family, and ask those people what they think about us. And I promise you, all those people are not going to say, "Oh yeah, she's a 9.5. Oh yeah, she's a 10." Oh, they're not. They're going to give it to you straight. Majority of them, and they're not going to say that you're perfect, or they're going to find something that they think you could possibly work on that shows that you need some improvement. And there's nothing wrong with you feeling the way that you do. I mean,
Yeah.
I would hope that everybody speaks highly of themselves, but in actuality, in real terms, there's not too many people, if at all, people that are 9.5 on a scale of a 10.
And let me
So,
Okay.
let me
so
just say
Shan,
this.
throw that,
Kind of,
that
let
last
me let me
comment back up on the
Wes,
screen.
you've been
Go
holding the
ahead,
mic for
Chris.
a minute. You- your cape need to come off for a second.
Wes is hot tonight. Wes is hot. Wes, he coming in hot.
And look, what's
I
that
feel
thing
you.
you
I
always
respect
tell
it,
Wes
Wes.
to
Thank you
fix?
for the perspective. Thanks for the support. Okay.
Wes's rollcaster is working tonight. I think that's what it's called. Uh,
I do want to
Aisha,
comment on that,
by
Chris,
no
on
by
that
no
Go
comment
ahead.
stretch
when
of the
that's up when you
imagination
finish.
are we saying that you should not think highly of yourself.
Oh, of course,
That's
I
not what
understand
we're
what you
saying
guys
at
are
all,
saying.
right? So
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want you to think that. I think
yeah,
just as a guy, we're sharing from a guy's perspective that we have a more logical approach to that particular question. And that's how I'll say that.
yeah.
But
Yeah, men are
you
just yeah,
joined.
they think logically, they did think different. My husband wouldn't probably say, "Oh yeah, she's perfect." No, he wouldn't say that. But you ask me.
Not in front of you.
You ask
Which is
me.
exactly what I said, Chris. You just said exactly what I said a long time ago, that men and women are different, and women are going to answer that question differently than men
Well,
because we're more
Wes, if
logical
you
and
really, I was
practical.
trying to turn the corner here. That's what I was just saying.
Okay, go
Logic and
ahead, turn that
reason is
corner.
what moves the
Been that
world
right, baby.
forward.
Been that right.
Emotion is
Yeah.
what holds it back.
Turn the corner, Wes. Anyway, so Aisha, you
Okay.
joined us tonight, and I want to definitely welcome you. Beautiful smile. Love that you're taking it.
Thanks, y'all.
Taking the conversation in stride, right? I think that's absolutely amazing. And so I want to give way to you so you can ask your question, whether it be about relationships or business or marriage or whatever the case is. Three of the five of us have been married up here. So you need some OG help. We got you. I think I was married the longest. I think. Wes,
Yep.
how long was your marriage?
About a 6 months.
I was married twice. So my first marriage was pretty much,
Annulled.
Shan. My first, I wish my first marriage was it was 8 months before we separated, and of course, we made it a year married, technically married before, because you got to wait 6 months to get a divorce back
Right.
in Louisiana. So 8 months, and then but we hardly knew one another. That was the relationship was only 6 months or so before we actually got married. And the second marriage was an 8-year long relationship. We were married for the last 2 years of it.
Got it.
So
Okay.
6 years dating, 2 more years, and then they kill
Right.
it. 8 years. I mean, 6 months known. Went said fuck it, let's do it. 8 months later, it was like I can't stand your ass. Bye. All right, got it.
Basically.
No stick to itiveness. Anyway, welcome to Ask a Black Man Anything. How did you want to join the conversation, or what question did you have for us, Aisha?
Well, I actually have a question that's more for like, I have some friends that are still single and, out there looking and interested in knowing like men's thought processes, I guess. And we talked about Instagram a little bit. So I wanted to like go back to the Instagram thought and just ask like, why, of course, from your guys' point of view, why are so many, or why are, because I don't want to mess up the question and Shannon get on me about my blanket statement. Let me say
Oh, I'm
this
fine
right.
with generalizing as
Just
long
ask
as
it.
it's enough data
We're
to be
not gonna get
general.
on
General. This
you.
is general, okay, y'all. It's not a blanket statement. But why do you think so many black men are obsessed with fake models? Like when there are so many real women out there and available. So those fake models on Instagram and TikTok, why is it, such an obsession there when there's just real women out here that don't look like that at all or act like that, you know?
That's crazy. We just had this same question, like I think like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
Iteration of it. Um, so one of the things that, and this is how I answer it. One of the things that we were given as little boys were toys, and we always liked flashy things. Like if you ask a kid, does he like a Corvette? Um, over a reliable Toyota, right? Or a Firebird, right? How old are you, Aisha?
I'm 32.
Okay, so do you know what a Thunderbird or a Firebird looks like?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
My dad
those
had a
cars
Thunderbird.
were like the hot cars back in the day,
Yeah.
right? Back in the late '80s, early '90s, those were nice cars, right? When you talk about the shiny things, boys like shiny things, and it's nothing wrong with liking shiny things. It's not like we don't like real women. It's more like we like shiny things, and we go after the reality of things, right? It's just it's harmless to double tap on a picture because it's it's perfect, if you will, right? So we want to see it, right? We like it. It's eye candy. It's like, did you eat ice cream as a kid
Yeah.
after dinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
And were
Birthday
you
parties
told
after
that?
dinner.
Right. So you were told, like, it's like getting ice cream after dinner. It's like, yeah, I'm ready for the treat, and that's all it is. It's just a treat to me. For me, I'll let the other guys chime in on that one.
Yeah, I would have to disagree with Chris like wholeheartedly. Like I think you'd be surprised how many black men do not like that. Like, but the men that are out in the open and in the public eye, they tend to um, because these are the women that they're fed. Like they only get to their industry or label or whatever you want to call it dictates what their woman is going to look like. So if they're this is the current wave of women that they're fed, so that's why it looks like. Then you have, of course, you have like the younger generation trying to imitate what the people they look up to have and pursue. But at least I'll speak for me. The majority of black men that I know, they don't really like. They turn they don't look that way at the women that don't have natural bodies because it sticks out like if you and I'll again speak for myself. Like I prefer a woman that looks like she should be in somebody's music video, right? But a natural woman. Um, and you could just see how different they look. Like I can look at a woman and tell, yeah, that's not her. But in the men that I'm around and I've spoken to, they don't really like that. But like I said, the men that are out in the public eye, uh, those are the ones that are. It's arm candy if anything. Like you know what I mean? Like that's pretty much it.
So what I say is, I think that it's, and like Shahid said, it's not all men. So you don't want to generalize and say it's all men. There's some men. I think that the societal norms and societal viewpoints play a role. So growing up, you have some men that growing up, well, they, not men growing up, but boys, young boys, on television. That's what they saw. So they saw the models or on the TV shows, on BET or those type of networks. They saw those specific type of women, or in the music videos, some of the women look like those type of models and things like that. And the particular way they were raised and where they come from and their upbringing. They may have had uncles or their dad or brothers that were into women like that, and so that kind of impacted or influenced, the way that they saw women. And so as they got older, those were the women they were more attracted to, the women that had all the different type of cosmetic surgery, the women that had a whole lot of different the BBLs and all this type of stuff. So I feel like when you're so used to seeing a certain type of thing growing up, or seeing things a certain type of way on the television, because let's just be honest, even on television they show so many different type of commercials over and over and over and over again, so that those things can kind of get programmed in your mind. It's just like for instance, you have a commercial and they go over this number 5, 6, 7, 8 times because they want you to remember it and kind of memorize the number. That's why they say it so many times. It's the same thing. So they show you pictures of these women. They show you commercials of these specific type of women. that are very extremely attractive that the normal woman wouldn't look like that. They just had to have some type of work. And so the more you see those things growing up, the more your mind kind of gets programmed that, okay, this is the representation of beauty. So this is what an attractive woman looks like. Whereas you may have a woman that doesn't have all those things done, and she may look just as attractive, but for some odd reason, the guy's gonna choose that other woman with the surgery over the natural woman. And so I think when you get on social media just continues to impact it as well because you're seeing those same type of things that you saw on television, maybe growing up or, in high school and stuff like that. And so you're just getting that same type of image in your head over and over as you go through Instagram. It's the same thing you're seeing. You're clicking on the same things. You're liking the same pictures. You're sliding in the same type of women DMs. And I think it just goes back to, like I said, societal norms and the way you were raised. A lot of people don't realize that as a child, a lot of the things that you see as a child, even unconsciously. So you may not realize you're doing it, but as you get older, some of those same things that you saw as a child are going to impact you and influence you the way you go about your day-to-day life. And so I think that the upbringing plays a big role in that as well.
Okay.
So
I can appreciate that.
the thing is, well, I hear what Shahid is saying. Shahid, the only thing is the numbers say otherwise. The numbers are speaking more to Chris than it is to what you're saying. But here's the thing.
How? It's 5 black men on this stage right now. How many of them are attracted to a fake body woman over a natural body woman?
Okay. I'm attracted to all women. but who I marry and who I fuck is two different things. So let me explain why you're right and wrong, right? And why the numbers I'm talking about that bears out. Because if a woman, these Instagram models that Aisha speaks of, they post a picture, they're going to get the likes. And this wholesome woman that you speak of, that's good enough to be in the music video, but is wholesome, she's going to get 2 likes, right? That's the numbers that I'm speaking of.
Majority of these women on Instagram or have natural bodies. The ones maybe y'all following the fake body ones, but I'm talking about the ones out of the Houston and Atlanta strip clubs.
Even still, no matter how you slice it, I'm the ones even the fake ones
that have natural body.
The bourgeois, the fucking all the ones that they got millions of motherfuckers that's following them. So here's the thing. The answer that I believe is the truth for Aisha is sex. 1 word, 3 letters, 1 syllable, and a period. SEX. It's nothing else. Instagram is the new Penthouse magazine.
Yeah.
Instagram is the modern day Playboy. When I grew up, it was Hustler magazine, Penthouse, and Playboy. Today, for young men, it's Instagram.
And Blacktail.
Instagram and TikTok.
He said, and TikTok, because on TikTok, they making it clap. And they just doing stuff for 10 seconds, showing you all the way to the areola of the nipple, and they cut the video, make a nigga mad. Be like, damn, getting ready to see that titty. That's the new Penthouse.
We trying to turn the phone to the side.
That the answer is sex, Aisha. And so the thing is, what women are mixing up, what women are mixing up is what men want sexually versus what men want in their home. Shahid is speaking to what men want in their home. Shahid is speaking to what fucking matters. I don't give a damn. I mean, like, for instance, Penthouse, Playboy, porn, men can jack off to all of that all day long, but they're not going to ask for those women's hands in marriage. Those women don't get to go and see grandma. Those women don't get a ring. Those women just get jacked off to in the privacy of their own homes. On Instagram, they get the likes, they get the follows, and so on and so forth. But I'm not taking you to my fucking Christmas party, my company Christmas party. The woman that matters to me is the woman that Shahid's speaking of. The women that men are liking and following and lusting after are the women that Chris is speaking of. And so what women like yourself, or some women, like not you, but your friends that are single that you're speaking for, are mixing up is what men want versus what men are horny after. You know what I'm saying? What they actually want to wife versus who they want to fuck. And so what you're seeing when you see those thousands of likes and those reshares and those comments, damn baby, and it's a, ooh, you the bomb and you this and that and the other, and you reading women, and the natural woman is reading that shit, and her photo ain't got but 3 comments and 6 likes.
Yeah.
He don't want her for a lifetime. He wants your friend for a lifetime. He wants the
Yeah.
girl that Shahid is speaking to for a lifetime. And he don't want his wife busting it open like that bitch in like the women on Instagram, or he doesn't want his wife spread in the centerfold spread of Playboy magazine. But he'll jack off to Playboy, he'll jack off to that chick on Instagram, but he wants to wife the other girl. It's sex is the reason why so many men are obsessed with fake Instagram models. They're not obsessed with the models themselves. Sex drives men. It's just that's what I hate that we have 2 brains. I hate that we have 2 heads. I hate that the way depending on how depending on when the last time we had sex is how we move out in the world when we leave the house and shit. I'm a flirt depending on my level of horniness today. Like if my ball, like this is why we suggest to women who are married or even in a relationship, make sure your man don't go anywhere horny. When he goes to the store, he is most likely going to ignore that chick if his balls are drained. But if his balls is not drained, he may say a little something. He may show a little something. He may tell her tires a little low on air and offer to put some air in it for her. Whereas if he just got a blowjob from his wife, he's just like, well, damn, I hope your man help you with that tire. I got to go home. So it's sex. That's my answer. It's not. I don't think there's any empirical data for this. It's just what I believe. I believe that men are driven sexually by the Instagram models, and a lot of women are mixing up the idea that this is what men want versus what men will fuck.
But Asia, my question would be, how are you measuring obsession?
Well, I think it's like what Shannon like basically stated is the extra likes, the reposts, the types of women that you are visually attracted to. And so like I had a follow-up question actually. I was just saying like because I think Jerron, you stated, it's how we've been conditioned or programmed, right? And then Chris, you mentioned just like it's something exciting. It's just like an extra treat or whatever. But don't you feel like it can build a false sense of expectation because you've been programmed to see these things and it becomes so normal that now you expect that maybe in your real relationship, the sex, the being extra sexy. Oh, well, I don't want her to do it online, but I want her to still act like that, but at home. Maybe that's just not in her. You know what I mean? I'm wondering, does it create this unrealistic expectation of now the real woman that you're interacting with?
You're asking Jerron?
I don't think it,
Oh,
Any of you guys. I was just bringing in
Oh.
some of the things you mentioned. Mhm.
yeah,
Go ahead, Chris.
I don't think it creates an unrealistic expectation of, of I want my wife to, shake it at home. I think we have that expectation prior to Instagram, prior to TikTok. We want to be pleased at home, regardless of what the internet says, because I tell any woman that I'm dating, I expect you to be my wife, my girlfriend, my side piece, my friend. I expect you to be all encompassing, because here's the thing. If I don't have to go out and look for anything else, and you're doing all the things at home, then what I see on Instagram and TikTok, it's just eye candy, right? I'm not enticed by that. So no, I mean it doesn't create an unrealistic expectation, not for me at least.
and what do you consider unrealistic? Because is unrealistic being a little sexy baby? Is unrealistic walking a little
No.
sexy baby? Is unrealistic making them pancakes with just your panties and a t-shirt on and shit? Is being
No,
unrealistic
is
waking me
being
up to a
like, oh, she can
blowjob?
make it clap.
What is
Can you?
unrealistic? Like, what are we asking for that women feel that we shouldn't be asking for and shit?
I don't think that like for me personally,
No, don't make it
nothing.
personal. Don't make it personal.
Yeah, so like
Just
I don't know
think about your
exactly the
source. Think
answer.
about your friends.
I just think like, you know, the expectation of always being out, well, you should do your makeup every day, or you should do your hair every day, and you should do this and that. Some things is kind of like, okay, just because you see somebody online doing this every day, that girl filmed 10 videos and posted them across 2 weeks. She looked like a bum like me. What you expecting? Some
Right.
of those like, you know, some of those like simpler things. I don't know necessarily what's, you know, some of the other things. I think like people will
No,
have
that's a
this
good one. That's a
expectation.
good one.
Yeah.
I didn't think you was gonna hit me with that
Yeah,
kind of fire. That's a good one.
you,
I
you
mean,
know,
that's
it's for us to listen. We have to understand what media does and what influence is, and so what the things that we think we desire and we want. Certainly, they've come from images and things portrayed in media, and it seems like just like it seems for you, it's all men like. It's because Instagram caters to that kind of stuff. There's not a platform that caters to the inside of a woman's heart, or that's showcasing her nurturing skills or anything like that. That's not what gets fed to us, and thus it's a circular thing. But there's a reason why Coca-Cola and Pepsi and Procter and Gamble have these meetings and discuss branding and marketing because it works. It's a psychological tool that works. And so, I would agree with you. The images and the things that we consume, because once upon a time, right, we didn't want it. We didn't like when Shan says, what's wrong with being sexy, or cooking in a kitchen or something, paraphrasing, and something sexy. Well, once upon a time, before we saw that imagery, women were, I don't know, in their pajamas and cooking, and people thought that was sexy. Or when it comes to television, people thought that was risque, right? So it's an evolving thing, but no, we're absolutely for sure influenced. Even when we think we're not, we're influenced by the images, and they get reinforced, and then we have an expectation, subconscious as it may be, to actually for that thing to be what we've always seen these images of, as opposed to real life.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
think it sets an expectation of because if you have a nice wholesome woman at home and then you see all these women on the internet with this false sense of confidence, you start to look at your own woman as like, like why you don't walk around with this type of. It don't even have to
Mhm.
be it don't have to be like half naked or whatnot, but if you see a woman every time she posts a pic, she got on her makeup, she got on her heels, she's dressed to the nines, and then you see your woman, go to Walmart and you know what I
Mismatched
mean.
panty and bra.
So it does like create that, you know what I mean. Um, but I mean, I let shit. I think I don't know. I can
You
get these women.
you know
So
the thing is though, Shahid. Let me speak to, because the mismatched penny and bra thing just popped in my mind, and I get it, right? I get it, but I also think that some women, many women, men too, but we ain't talking about men. We talking about women. It doesn't take too much effort to be a little bit better than slovenly and shit. So
no, it doesn't take much effort. I can agree.
I just thought about mismatched panties and drawers. Some of them is holy. I thought about, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't take much to put your hair in the bin. I'm talking about beat up, torn up, fucked up t-shirts that could just get thrown away and go to Target. They cost $6, $5.99 plus tax. I'm looking at dirty sweat mark hats and shit. I'm thinking of some things that women can do to clean up their even lounging private image that maybe their man sees, that doesn't take a lot of effort, that women still won't do. And it's just like, damn, man. I mean, I get Instagram, and this chick is always dolled up, and she look like she got her face beat every time she's on here. And she did all of that shit one Sunday, and that shit was spread over 10 days. I get that. But even if I was to run into this chick at the gas station, I have a feeling that she ain't gonna look like that. And he's pointing at his wife in the kitchen and shit. She ain't gonna look like that. And the effort that it will take my wife to just clean up a little bit before, when she walks from the bed to the bathroom, and the bathroom to the kitchen, kitchen to the living room, and back to the bedroom. It's not a lot, but y'all won't even do that. And it's like, since the hallmark of beauty of every relationship is the woman, that's your job. Now, I could be a sloppy nigga too. Don't get me wrong. Men can be sloppy as a mother. We crusty. We got crusty balls, bad breath, unkempt hair need cutting. We got problems too. Don't get me wrong. I understand. But I ain't here to be beautiful. You are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here to make sure that
I have nothing
these
against what
lights
you
is
just
working.
said.
I'm
It's
here to make
very
sure that your
easy.
car is the gas tank's full. I'm here to make sure that motherfucker don't have a check engine light. I'm here to make sure your tires are not bald. I'm here to make sure the AC is working and the toilet flushes. I'm good, but I might be a little crusty. You here to make sure that when you walk from the dining room to the kitchen, I'm like, I need to ravage that. And y'all sometimes don't even do that. But I digress.
Yeah. It's not hard, ladies.
So,
ladies, if you are here, it's not hard. Go get you a bralette and some little shorts and put them in his favorite color. You be all right. Just get up and put something else on. It's not hard. I can agree with that.
And
let
you
me
know,
ask you a
the flip side of that.
Let me ask you a counter question. Why do you think that some women give so lackadaisical effort, in your opinion, when they get into a relationship? Like, they are, like, why? In your opinion, that's my question. You know, the counter question. Why do you think that is?
I just feel like we act as if women can't be tired. I just think that realistically we feel like a woman always has to be on and look nice, and why is it no effort? Well, she probably worked all day today too. She's a little bit tired too, and while I get it, yes, it's still a woman's job to do this and that, I just think that sometimes it ain't in me. Sometimes I'm sick, sometimes it's that time of the month, sometimes there are things that, my emotions would be like, I'm not about to look cute for nobody. I'm gonna stay in these sweats because I don't feel good and wrapped up in this blanket. People just get tired. You know what I mean?
Just wear cute sweats,
it's something
though.
to consider.
I'll be asking this, but baby, wear some cute sweats. Why you gotta wear the 1970 frumpy joints? Go get some joggers.
Well, why not go and on her, birthday gift is something you like to see her in? How hard is that?
Because it takes the responsibility away from her.
Yeah, because I'm at work.
No, her responsibility is still to wear it, right? But now she's got something that she knows.
No, that's not her only responsibility, because I can't wear holy socks and I have to go and buy my own socks, right? I can't walk around with holy drawers. Baby, you need to get some new drawers, right? That whole thing, right? It takes away the accountability of self-accountability, the self-awareness. Like,
you didn't buy it, so fuck it. I'm wearing what I got. That's the attitude. And my thought is, I'm going
to go to the store. If I don't want to see those holy socks, you know what I'm doing? I'm going and picking up socks and putting them in the drawer. If I don't want to see those underwear, guess what? You take them off, they're going into the trash, baby. Ain't no dirty clothes like that. I'm gonna go buy something new and throw it in the drawer. And that's me all the time. That is my expectation.
But see, that's you putting effort, though, right?
But will you do that for yourself?
Oh, I'm gonna do it for me too. But I'm saying, like, I'm just showing you how it can be back and forth. Brother Chris was saying,
I get the back and forth, but what I'm saying is, if you're single, not you, if a woman is single, right, and she's dating, why can't she take some effort, right? Put 10% more effort in.
They do it when they're dating. No. Put it on. Let's put it in the terms of a relationship after they got comfortable. Because dating, they gonna do that shit, Chris. That's the person that they're employing to get that nigga. We want to know why they let it go.
Yeah, y'all didn't show up at her house.
Put it back in a relationship, Chris. Now that they're in it was your question, Chris. Now that they're in a relationship, what the fuck happened?
And I mean, I get you need a day off, right?
Lots of things.
You said it's more to clean up.
I was like, I don't know. Yeah. Listen, you said in my opinion, longer days. I'm tired.
But that 9.5 though.
Yeah.
But Aisha said it in the beginning. We don't show up to her house with the drawers. We wear our good drawers. or we go get some new draws. And when she come over
I
to
don't
our
wear drawers.
crib, the crib is all nice and clean and look like that's how we rock on a daily. And then we get married to her, and next thing you know, we're a slob. We don't change our draws. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Living with a
whatever.
man
Hey,
is a whole
that's
different world,
complacency though.
y'all.
Everybody, people get complacent. That's their fault.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know
People
about
get
change
complacent.
draws,
So,
but
okay,
nah,
guys, here
Yeah,
a
I
roundabout
don't agree with
question.
that, Wes.
Question for everybody. Chris, Shaheed, Jerron, Wes, our guest Aisha. Here's a question. Everybody gets complacent. Men gets lazy in a relationship, in the confines of a relationship. This for the people in the chat too. Ladies in the chat, men in the chat, everybody. I want everybody to answer this. Everybody gets complacent. Everybody gets lazy. Everybody gets comfortable once they get into a relationship. In your experience, personal experience, in your visible observation, I don't care about this data and stats or what I want to know who gets lazy first more often, men or women in a relationship.
it's women and it's not even close.
Shaheed says it is women get lazy first. Next.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Shaheed, but I will say this: I think it's because women do extra. So men, we just tend to come as we are, right? Clean up a little bit, do a few things, but for generally speaking, we show up our best version of our authentic self. And women tend to go over the top. So that bar is set so high based on what their standard or their baseline is that it's hard to maintain. It's not maintainable for them, and
Stop
that's
explaining
what it
for
is. So
niggas.
as
Stop
opposed to
explaining
saying they
for.
get lazy,
Wes always got
they
to
get
fucking
regular.
save somebody. Just say women and call
You
it. Just say go
mansplaining,
next.
Wes?
Jerron.
Who?
Oh, okay.
I think it's
Jerron is
women.
taking a break.
Um,
Chris. Okay.
No,
Everybody
Jerron
gets
is still there.
complacent. Chris. Everybody gets complacent. But
I'm here.
who gets lazy and complacent first in a relationship? The man. Who falls off first? Men or women, Chris? Who falls off first?
I think women do fall off first too. And Jerron is here. He just hadn't figured out how to cut his camera back on.
Yeah,
I don't know how to
what's
turn
going on with this thing.
it's just,
But I think it's women.
Shan, did you
though.
hear me?
I think it's
Oh, my bad.
Go ahead, Jerron.
He was talking.
no. I was saying I think it's women. I just think it's women because and I'm just speaking from personal experience. I know plenty of times where women may start doing something and doing it well with it. Then all of a sudden they just get complacent. They just stop doing it. You ask them about it, they can't even give you a reason why. Oh, I just didn't feel like doing it. Like I know so many women that start so many different tasks, and then you ask them, they still got 3, 4, 5, 6 different tasks they started, they still haven't completed. No excuse. They just stop doing it. And so I would say women. You laughing because you probably know it's right, Ace. Because it's probably you.
Aisha.
She's
Aisha,
talking
who
to her
fall?
husband now.
Aisha, in your experience with all your all your male homies from college, all your female homies from college, the people you work with, the people that you've known for years, who falls off first, the guy or the girl in a relationship?
I say,
She
I
about
think
to
it's
lie.
men.
I knew she was.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I think
I knew
it's
she was
men.
gonna lie.
However, I do want to say I feel like it's men because you asked me about my experience and what I see and have experienced. Obviously I don't have as much experience dating women, so I really don't see them falling off per se. So I say men, but don't put women on me. I didn't say women, bro. I said men. Okay, all right. Yeah, but I don't think you guys are wrong. I think Jerron, you was funny because
What do you mean? What do you mean?
yes, that was funny. No, I can see those experiences, right? I heard your guys' experiences and explanations, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can see that, but that's not been my experience. While I
You
respect
know I'm
what you're
telling the
saying,
truth.
it's
That's
not
why
been
you
my
laugh.
experience. Huh?
You
That's
know I was telling the
hilarious.
truth. That's why you laugh.
Parts of that was the truth, but you said who fall off first? The undone projects, that be happening.
So that's falling out because you're getting complacent. Most men, if they're gonna start a project, most of the time we're gonna get it done.
They're gonna get it
But
done. Yeah.
we're not gonna have too many unfinished products just laying around. But women, I promise you, I'm telling you, y'all will start 5 or 6 different projects. Then you ask them a week or 2 later, oh, I forgot.
I
I
have a
stopped doing it.
husband that tells me I
I
don't
don't want
do
to do that
that.
no more. I changed my mind.
I changed my mind. That's it. Sometimes you just change your mind. I can
I don't
agree
know
with you,
5
and
or
I can
6
laugh
different
because my
projects.
husband has said the same thing. So, and I can't deny it because I respected it when he said it. So yeah, he was like, "Aren't you gonna get tired of it and not want to do it no more?" And I'm like, "No, it's gonna be great."
See, the ladies in the chat is cheating. 2 of them said both. At least Muna said men. So here we
Man,
have Chris women, Wes women, Jerron women, Shahid women. Y'all know what the fuck I think. It goes without saying.
of course.
And then Aisha men, Muna men. I mean, where do we ever find? Is it like I know we're not committed to our gender. It's like, you know what, men are. So why is it that we see things so much differently when it comes to like questions like this? Like, who falls off first? All the guys is like, man, women fall off, and they gave their explanations. The ladies, and I'm sure the ladies in the chat would agree with what Aisha said, men fall off first. How come we can't see the same things the same way? Like,
We don't
why 1
experience
+
the
1 doesn't
situation
equal?
the
How
same.
come 1 + 1 equals something different for men than women? Now we can talk about
So
stuff.
Experience is
I,
subjective.
A lot of times we have to go back to, like, I talk about retail, right? You can't argue whose bathroom is nastier, women's versus men's bathrooms. You got to work at retail. You'll know who's got the nasty ass bathroom, right? You can't argue that. But then when you ask them for anecdotal experience, it's always different. It's like, how come we could see it as plain as day at fucking Kmart? How come we could look at the women's bathroom at Target or Sears, in my case, and I'll tell you who's nasty as a motherfucker versus who just misses the toilet every once in a while. But somehow when it comes to like our own personal experiences, it's a completely different thing.
Because who I let into my
I
personal
think
life is different than who I experience outside in the world. I don't know those people.
Right.
I would never associate with them.
But you do.
So,
They're your
would
friends.
wouldn't that
I
still
don't.
be
They're your
wouldn't that
cousins.
still be your experience though?
But you said who falls off first. I thought you meant like in a relationship. If I go to if you ask me whose bathroom is dirty, I already know off top.
Yeah, but that
I already
speaks
know
to
the answer
like
to
how
that.
you do one thing is typically how you do everything. So if that's the case, if who falls off first, who kind of don't give a fuck, who kind of don't care about cleanliness, who kind of don't care about what they put on or where shit is left, or if the fucking trash can is overfilling, or if the toilet is stuffed up with fucking sanitary napkins, or who don't give a fuck here ain't gonna give a fuck at home. But somehow, and I know I'm saying this to kind of kind of like land for my position, but it is what it is. So how come I guess I'm asking, really, why do you think it's men when everything outside of our personal experience shows it's women?
Because you asked me about my personal experience and what I see, and so I can only speak
And I
from
think that
what I've
most women
seen
would agree with
personally in
you.
my experience. Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
most women would
know.
agree with you.
Yeah, so I get it, like the statistics and the numbers, but you said statistics to numbers out, right?
Mm-hmm.
From your personal experience, who do you feel falls off first? So I can only come from my personal experience, not statistics or numbers or what the world shows me or what my experience at a store was. I can't come from that when I answer the question.
Got it. That's a trip.
But you know, in fairness though, it's all about what do we consider falling off, because the areas that men may consider that a woman falls off um, may not be the same areas that women consider that a man's fall off.
Really?
Whether usually when we talk about women falling off, we're talking about physically and aesthetically and the whole nine. But if you polled women and specifically said, "Hey, we're polled men and women and said, "Hey, we're specifically talking about aesthetics, physical, attraction wise," and you go into married couples to go beyond relationships, because oftentimes as men, when we're dating and we're in relationships, we're still keeping our options open, and so that might require us to present the best aesthetic version of ourselves, to be in the best shape. But when you start moving into marriage, I mean, I could look around at so many people that I know. The men have let themselves go far beyond where their wives have.
Oh, here we go, West again. God damn. So
It's a fact.
West one, fall off is kind of universal. It's not know how women fat, sloppy. You let yourself go. You ate. You don't give a fuck about getting your hair cut
Right,
or
right,
getting
right,
it
right.
done. You know what I'm saying? You stank. You
Yeah, I'm
don't
saying putting
bathe
it
as
in a
much as you
box,
used to.
compartmentalizing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all. It's
Yeah, I'm
now.
with you. I'm saying compartmentalize it, as opposed to, because if you ask the question random, like some of these women in the chat, they might not mean specifically aesthetically. They might be like, oh, he fell off, he stopped taking out the trash, or he stopped whatever it might be. So when you compartmentalize it and keep all things being equal, right?
West gonna fight for the women,
Then
boy. He gonna
no,
fight for you, Aisha.
I'm gonna fight for I'm just
He
gonna
gonna
lay out the
fight. He
truth.
gonna West gonna bring some likes to the show from the women for sure. He gonna let you know, baby. If falling off is taking out the trash and keeping your car clean, then I understand. I understand. That nigga that fell off. He didn't. He don't eat the pussy as much as he used to. Baby, I understand. He don't. That floor. The garage is nasty. I understand. Goddamn West.
Hey, hey, it is what it
But
is.
West gonna come in and say, but what he won't do, I'll do for you. Boy, I tell you. What he won't do,
Hey, man.
I'll do for you. Wes, what's one of your favorite love songs?
You was almost singing it. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. Yeah. Now, I don't know. What's one of my favorite songs? I don't know. That's one of them. I don't even know the name of it. I don't even know who sings it, but that's one of them.
It's got to be Joe.
No, my favorite song. Bitch Better Have My Money. Actually, you have a point. It actually is Joe. There's two songs. My two favorite songs in the world. It's Joe. It's funny. Joe is actually my neighbor, but it's oh God, it's from it's called No One Else. No one else comes close to you. No one makes me feel the way you do. You're so special, girl, to me, and you'll always.
Thanks,
Hey,
Wes.
don't make me listen.
Did I
Bro,
ask
singing ain't your
my
calling,
R&B
bro.
days.
Did I just ask him what the song was?
That's okay. It's okay. Yeah, but so No One Else, and what was the other song? It's right before that. Oh God, I can't think of the name of it. But yes, Joe.
It's great that you can't think of the name of it.
Like, you don't want me to sing it, bro? What's good, man? I'm trying to make my debut.
We're good. We're gonna meet you. Mute you.
It's on you, Chris.
Hey man, one of these days I'm gonna play for y'all some of my demos. You know, y'all have actually sung a couple of songs I've written, just FYI.
Thank you, Wes. Aisha, did you have any follow-up questions there? Because what I thought you were going to say is, Why is it that men are not actually going for the women, the plain Janes, and why are men not dating, black women? That's what I thought you were gonna go, but
No, because I don't feel that's true. I feel like that would be a false statement. I can see otherwise. You know what I mean? I've seen otherwise. I know tons of black men
gotcha.
who are married that I went to college with that I've seen. I've seen them get into relationships and other things. So I can't say that men aren't dating regular people. I'm just saying why is there a tendency to lean towards what they see online. They having a concert.
So can I
They
ask you a
having
question?
a
How
concert.
tall is your husband?
My husband's 6'2".
It's West Anthem.
6'2". How tall are you?
I am
5'5",
like 5'7", 5'7", 5'8".
5'7".
I'm tall. Mhm.
You're 5'7" is not tall. It's above average. I hate when women say that 5'7" is tall.
What's
Five
tall
seven,
then?
five eight,
Listen, when
five
you
nine
walk
is
into
not
a room
tall.
and you're taller than half the women, I feel a little tall. But okay, I'm average
But
height.
No, you're above
you're
average
above
height.
average. Above
Above
average.
average.
Above
I'm
average.
above average height, but
A
I'm not
tall
tall.
woman, a
Yeah,
tall woman would be like 6 feet, 6'1", six
that's
five.
true.
That's a tall woman.
Okay. Semantics. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
No, no, not semantics. Like the average woman, I
In
think
real
is
life.
what 5'4", 5'4". So like tall is not. That's like saying,
So
if a
three
guy
inches
is
taller is
five
not
ten,
considered tall. I respect it. Yeah.
that's like if the average man's height is 5'10", that's like a dude saying that 6'1" is tall. 6'1" is slightly above average. Now 7 feet is tall, right? You know. But so let me ask you this question. So your husband is 6'2", you're 5'7". Um, Prior to you meeting your husband, would you have dated a man that was 5'8"?
Oh yeah, I dated short people. Yeah,
That's not
I
short.
don't care about it.
That's not short.
I, I've dated short people though. You heard what I said, right? I've dated shorter than that. So that's 5'8" is fine. That's
No,
fine.
but
That was not like
no, I'm
a
saying like
deal breaker.
would you have fallen in love with a 5'8" and chosen him to be your life
I did
partner?
not.
Right.
I didn't. I
But
didn't, but I don't know
like
if that was because of the height or
you,
not.
but 6'2",
Are
but a
you
guy
looking
that's
for? Are
six
you
two,
looking
it
for
just
an
does something
above?
for you, right?
I'm not one of those people who is rooted in uh like aesthetics necessarily.
Okay.
I view a man for things completely different. Like his height was not at number one on my list. His love for God, his ability to lead, his ambition, his goals, his view for our future. Some of those things were more important to me than height. So if he would have had all of those things, and like if my husband would have had all of the things that he has now, and he would have been a little bit shorter than he is, 5'8", 5'9", that's not a big deal to me. As long as I can still wear my heels and you don't feel no type of way, we good.
Is that a
That
Burning
wasn't.
Sands beanie in behind you?
It is a Burning Sands beanie behind me. You see
Okay,
it?
just making sure. Just making sure.
I love Burning Sands.
Okay, just checking.
So the reason why I asked that is because the last young lady that was with us, who asked a similar question, I asked her how tall is her significant other. He was like 6 plus, right, and she's 5'9", slightly above average, right, and she asked us, why do we like the Instagram models? Why do we like that? And I asked her, well, I asked her the same question, and her answer was, I really like the guy that's 6'2", and it just does something to me. I'm like, so why can't we have the same standard? Like, why can't we like what we like and marry something else? And she sat there kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. And so that's where I was kind of going. But I'm actually glad that you said that you were looking
Yeah,
for more of substance than you were
yeah,
just looking
yeah.
for
But then at the same
aesthetics. And
time,
and
she's
what I
married. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
a
but
know a
that's
lot
lot
of
of
now
people
though.
times,
have.
like a lot of
That's
these
now though.
arguments, like Aisha's married. She's 3 years in. She's 2 years away from beating the average divorce time. And so when you see when she answers things like that, and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad you asked that. I mean, I'm glad you answered it that way. And the things that she's looking for in a man, then these women don't last, ladies. These women don't last on the market. They don't last. Aisha got married in her 20s.
Yeah.
They don't last. And so when
And that
oftentimes, and this just simply means, ladies, when you guys are saying, why am I, what's the problem? Look in the mirror. Because if Chris was to ask you the same question that he just asked Aisha, would your answer be similar? Likely not. But you don't see that a problem. You think that, oh, that's just my preference. That's just how I feel. Okay, well, how you feel keeping your ass single?
Yeah, and what I was going to say is, I'm glad you answered it to kind of wrap it up. There is, you have substance, right? You're looking for values and substance, and not just aesthetics. And what I'm finding, and which is what I was going to ask, why I thought you were going to ask earlier, about dating, is it was that, why are people not getting, why are black women staying single, right? And it's because they don't have the substance that they're looking for. And I'm really, really glad. So kudos to you for looking for substance, finding a great partner, and hopefully, because I don't know you, being a great partner. And it also lends to a question that somebody asked us a while ago. Why are black men scared to commit? Do y'all remember that question? Why are black men scared to commit when a great woman is in their presence?
I was like
And
3 weeks ago,
my
2 weeks
answer,
ago.
my answer was, if you're really great, when you're really great, you end up like Aisha, off the map. And if you're not really great, there are some things that need some tweaking. So, yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
that's where I thought
translate
you was
what
going. But
Chris,
thank
what you
you
just
so much.
said. What Chris just said was, when you're a 10 like Aisha.
He's a
That's right. Bring
9.5.
it home, Wes.
I'm I'm just translating for the brother. That's what he meant in his heart.
No,
Respect.
no, that's not what I
Yeah,
said.
I
What I said.
You can hear more from me on
That's funny.
Thursdays at 5, y'all, right before Ask a Black Man at 5 p.m. Wife School on YouTube live
Yeah.
every Thursday at 5. Catch us. We got more stuff to talk about and more information to give y'all.
From a
Aisha, let me
dime.
ask you
From a
this.
dime.
She's a
Hey,
9.5. She's not a 10. You got to
don't just
round up
plan
in
your
order to
wedding,
make her a
plan your
10.
entire marriage, ladies. And being married ain't enough. You have to be a wife.
Being married ain't enough.
Let me ask you this last question, Aisha. Do you have single friends that you could bring to the show that have questions about their dating or relationships, or that need help? And don't lie and say
Yeah, I
no.
think that I do. I do. I do. I think that everybody,
You got a
could
whole
use
sorority
some
full of them.
advice,
Stop it.
right? Yeah, exactly. People, you don't know what you don't know, and until you ask, you'll never know. So I think that there's tons of women who have questions for black men and want real answers. They may not want to be shot down for their question, but there's tons of people who have
We don't
questions.
we don't shoot
Absolutely.
people down for their question.
I
You
know.
see,
I was
we
just
had all
saying,
kind of good banner up here and stuff.
I don't know. I like it. I have fun. I think I have a good time. I'm a laugh. One thing about me, I'm a laugh. So it's all good.
Perfect.
But some people
So
are
so
afraid
my
of the
challenge
answers.
to you is,
I think that's why people don't ask questions. You don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. And some people are afraid to see themselves differently. And so they're afraid to reach out and ask those
mm,
questions. Sometimes that's why you don't have the engagement or people asking questions because, they fear the unknown. So
That's one of the biggest
that's,
problems I have
yeah.
with people, because people get, whether I'm in an intimate relationship with a woman or people become close to me or whatever. I'm quick to show I'm a mirror. I am a mirror like a motherfucker. And I'll be like, okay, let me show you. I'm gonna show you. And people don't like it when Shan shows them themselves, because I'm not a nice mirror. I'm not.
no.
I'm not the nicest mirror and shit. I'm not a version. I didn't come off Wes's production line and shit. I came off Shahid's production line.
Yo. So
So
here's
I'm
the
gonna tell
thing.
you.
The funny thing, Shan, is I'm not a nice mirror either. And people who know me have a problem with that. But it's because once I get to know you, and once I love you and care for you, I tend to get very, very, because I want to see the growth. I want to see those things, and so I become a lot like you. You'll be surprised. You
Look
can
at Chris.
shake your head, Chris.
Chris like,
Well, no, I was looking at it.
Chris
I was looking
like,
at. I was looking at email.
Stop the cap.
I was looking at an email. I'm just shaking my head, just, and I was scratching my ear. I'm scratching my ear. That's all.
Right.
Anyway, so two things. I challenge you, Aisha, to bring your single friends next week, and butter them up. We'll treat them real nice.
Okay.
Yeah, and don't bring the friend like the one from my homeboy friend. Don't bring that one. Don't bring that one. You know what I'm talking about. Bring one that got some sense, right? I'm just teasing, but hopefully you found some great. Say what?
Nothing. I was laughing. You're good.
Okay. Hopefully you got some great feedback in the answers, and I appreciate the banter. I appreciate you for joining us, and appreciate all of you in the audience for seeing us one more week. Make sure you like this show and share it with your friends. We'd love to see you all next week. We out.
Good night. Thanks, guys. This was fun.
You're very welcome.
Dime.
9.5.
Mic check 1 2. Oh yeah, we still hot.
So, someone asked a question in the chat. I am curious though. Why are we? Say it again. No, in the
Go ahead.
On the live chat. Now, so I am curious. It does seem like we are, as men, oftentimes a little overly concerned. Or maybe let me just ask it like this: why are we concerned with how a woman rates herself versus just observing her and knowing how we rate her? And I understand the point of perhaps wanting to see a woman's her level of accountability and or self-awareness, right? But
That's
I think
it.
I can, for me personally, I can obtain that by without having to ask her how she rates herself. I can watch a woman, I can be in that woman's company and determine her level of self-awareness and accountability. Just like
That
I'm
takes
sure
too
she can
long.
with mine.
Doing it that way takes too long. It's a litmus test. The reason why men ask women to rate themselves is one, because men have no problem with somebody asking him to rate himself. That's number one. Number two, it's the quick and dirty litmus test to find out where a woman is in her level of, I don't want to say reality, but it is actually reality. It's basically how level-headed she is.
I get you.
And that's nothing more than that. I mean, the part that you understand
I get you.
is
It is
actually
quick and dirty.
It's a quick and dirty way to find out
Right.
if, how fucking real you are. Men, we're so used to running into women who are in fucking bizarro land, who are so delusional with so many things when it comes to politics, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to religion, when it comes to interpersonal relationships between people, when it comes to coworkers, when it comes to family and friends. Women are so fucking far off the mark as far as men are concerned from the way we look at things over here on Mars, that if we simply ask her, how do you think of yourself? Before I ask you how you think of your mama, your cousin, your coworker, what you think of BMW versus Mercedes, what you think of this neighborhood versus that neighborhood.
Right.
I don't even want to ask you if how you feel about these colors. I don't want to ask you what you think about my suit that I'm wearing tonight, or should I get what kind of shoes should I buy? What do you think of yourself? And if you can't answer me, if you can't keep it 100 with how you answer yourself, Everything else is shit.
But-
doesn't have a fucking
But he-
chance. It doesn't have a chance in hell.
But here's the flip side of that question, which is that the flip side of that consequence is if a woman answers in the affirmative that she thinks highly of herself, like an Aisha, who might actually be a superb woman, then we might miss out if we use that as our litmus test.